Hi, I'm Charlie Dresden. Thanks for tuning in to SteamboatsMyHome.com. This month's video blog is about the art of pricing a home. If you price a home correctly the first time, it should sell for a higher amount and in a quicker amount of time than if you price a home high, and we see price reductions every month. Home gets stale that way. Usually a seller nets less than if you priced it correctly the first time. So a lot of times when I ask my sellers, what do you think your home is worth? Or what do you think it should sell for? A lot of times they say, well, it's worth X amount because the assessor's office say that it is. Now the assessor's office has never been in your home. They're just gauging it off the sale price of your neighbor's home, your square feet. They don't know what kind of improvements you've done. So I say, hogwash to the assessors. Assessors is not a reputable source for pricing a home. The next one is neighbor's home. They say, well, my home is worth X because my neighbor sold theirs for this amount and mine is a little bit nicer, so I'm going to add on a little bit. That's not correct either. Homes are completely different, so you can't base it off of what your neighbor's home sold for. The next one is internet. You know, places like Zillow and Trulia, they give you what you call estimates. And they go off of a lot of these assessor sites saying if your neighbor's home sold for $500,000, then your home's probably worth $500,000. But again, the internet, Zillow has never been inside your home. They don't know the improvements. They don't even know the size hardly. So we're gonna take internet out as well. The last one is what you paid for the house and the improvements. Unfortunately, that's not a way to price a home either. Maybe they bought it 6 months ago, maybe they bought it 10 years ago, so it's kind of irrelevant what they paid for the house and the improvements they made. So unfortunately, even though those four things are great and they're good to monitor, I'm going to show you some other ways that I like to price homes. So it is an art to price a property. We don't just look at the neighbors, we don't just look at the assessor's site, we don't just look at the size, crunch it down by price per square feet and come up with a price. The art of pricing a property takes into a lot of figures, and I'm going to talk about, I think, the 5 most important. The first one is the heart. Now 5 years ago, over the last 5 years, people have purchased properties on value. What is a good value? Because they're trying to buy as low as possible because they don't know where the market's going. But right now, the market is recovering very, very well in Steamboat Springs, and it's going back to the normal real estate trends. The heart. Real estate moves people. Real estate is a home where we raise family, where we create memories. It brings us a lot of joy. So the first on pricing a home, do you have a property that moves people? Do you have great views? Are you next to a river? Do you have a wonderful great room that just invites people to socialize? Or do you have a beautiful fireplace that creates memories? Okay, if you have a home that has something that's going to touch people and it's going to move people, we can often price it a little bit higher. The next is location. Does your home sit on a hill with great views? Is it next to a river? Okay, is it off in the mountains with complete serenity and peacefulness? Okay, do you have the location that people are looking for? The next one is competition. How many homes are on the market just like yours? If you have something unique that's going to move people, we can often price a property a little bit higher than the average. But if you have a home that's just like everybody else's and there's 14 other homes on the market just like yours, we have to price it right at market value or maybe a little bit lower to get a sale. Okay. The fourth is sold. What properties are selling? I go in a lot of homes, so I know the conditions of all the homes that have sold in this area. And I could tell you that if that home sold at this, your home is going to sell for that, because even though the size is the same, your home's a lot different than that home that sold. So sold property, absorption rate, are we in a buyer's market? Are we in a seller's market? All that stuff matters. How fast homes are selling in a specific area, in a specific price range is important. The last, and I think least important, but I know a lot of realtors will argue with me, price per square feet. Okay, if you have a 3,000 square foot home, the average price per square feet sold property is $250 a square foot, therefore your home should sell for X. Price per square feet matters, but it's low on my list. If you have a house that's in a great location that moves people, you have less competition and homes like yours are selling, we're going to price it a little bit higher than your average price per square feet. So there you go, the art of pricing a property. It's not science. It's not all about price per square feet. There's a lot of factors that go into it. Hope you learned something here in Steamboat Springs. Thanks for tuning in to SteamboatsMyHome.com video blog. I'm Charlie Dressen, and we will see you next month.